Good evening and welcome. My name is Gatel Ruiz Nicholas, and I am your host for the GRN show. How many of you know the history of Rara? And what is Rara? Rara is a musical style developed in Haiti, which is most frequently used for parades, marches, festivals. It actually originated in the 1700s during colonization time. But in modern times, Rara may be composed to address social and political issues, and of course, fun. I remember one of my trips to Haiti, and somebody said, let's go to Ram. Went to this place on a Thursday night. It was packed, and Rara music was playing. I had the time of my life. And of course, Rara is connected to Africa and the Haitian voodoo belief. Religious ceremonies contain prayers, dancing, and ritual, as well as sacrifices. So today, our guest is Gregory Jesus Luc, and he's going to talk to us about some of the myth as well as facts about this part of the Haitian culture. So good afternoon, good evening, Gregory, and welcome to our show.
Good
Thanks for
evening, good
being with
evening,
us.
good evening, good evening, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for putting me on the platform.
Wonderful. Well, it is such a major part of our culture, and I've seen it transition, into modern time. From the time as a little girl in Haiti, it was not, it was not out there. Mostly you heard it at night. And
Mhm.
now it's like every fundraising I go to, there is Rara. It's a lot of fun. So, Gregory, tell us briefly about who you are and how you became such a champion of Rara in our culture.
Well, my name is Gregory Jesus Luc, as you mentioned. I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, south of Harlem, um, to Haitian parents, of course, who emigrated here in the late 60s, early 70s. Um, I'm an 80s baby. So I grew up in the 80s and the 90s in New York City. And again, born of Haitian parents. And Manhattan is a very special place because, most people are not familiar, but Manhattan was actually the destination point for many Haitians who emigrated here. I would want to say in the late 50s during the Papa Doc era. So Manhattan is very special because before you have the Brooklyn, the Queens, and the outer boroughs, Manhattan was the first place that many Haitians landed in. Um, my love for Rara, wow, I mean, Rara is in me, I was introduced to Rara, I want to say, as a child, but unfortunately, in our culture, Rara is also has been taboo. Many Christians don't, they don't embrace the culture. They don't embrace Rara for many different reasons. And so I was introduced as a child, but it wasn't, I want to say, up until my 20s where I had just begun to form a romance with it. Rara was celebrated in my community in Manhattan, in Central Park since the early 90s. And I've been kind of, following the culture since.
Wonderful. So, it's very interesting, and I have to commend you, Gregory. A lot of our young Haitians who are born here in the United States, they are so disconnected to their culture. And I particularly love to see people like yourself really, like you said, the romance begin and you have maintained it and even taking it to higher heights. So what the movement, obviously, I call it a movement because
Mhm.
it appears you're doing different things with it. what are some of the different aspects of Rara that you're involved with, and how do you blend it into our culture to educate others?
Okay, well, I recently, again, we've been celebrating, the Manhattan Haitian community has been celebrating Rara, or just the Haitian culture in the form of Rara in Central Park since the early 90s. And up until, still to this day, we usually are at the park during the summertime part of the year. I want to say between the first Sunday, Mother's Day, and then we play straight every Sunday up until Labor Day, and just attending these events over the years, I felt like this wasn't information that was documented. And about a year ago, my partner and I, who have been taking pictures for the over years since and covering this up until the present, we pretty much put a collective. I want to call it a coffee table type book, a book of just pictures in chronological order from the 90s up until just highlighting how the community has celebrated this culture in Central Park, which used to be Seneca Village, an old African American community, that was displaced because of eminent domain. And, we're there in the spirit of that. And we've been there, and we've been there ever since. A lot of the community knows about us. We usually play with the Dominican community in Manhattan as well. So it's a camaraderie between, communities, the international community in New York City. And again, it was something that we felt that needed to be documented. And we put this book together. And, ever since then, we've really been trying to make sure that this book is in different places so that the generation that comes after us understands our contributions to the city of Manhattan, the city of New York, and even America as a whole.
That is wonderful, Gregory. So, I think you've touched on it a little bit. You've mentioned that, the Rara at one point, people might think it was taboo. It was not really mainstreamed into the different communities, Haitian communities back at home and here in the US, and primarily because we did not know the facts and there were many myths. So if you could point out some of the myths that made Rara taboo, and what are some of the facts that we really need to keep in mind? What are they?
Well, some of the myths that we hear about Rara is that it's devil music.
Mm,
Again, it's attached to voodoo. Rara, I would say, is like the entertainment vehicle for voodoo. It's during the processions, during the ceremonies, it's the music that's being played. Um, so there's because of, and voodoo as well also has a negative connotation just because of a lot of what it's been attached to and how people have taken it and done wrong with it. Just like people maybe do wrong with Christianity or Islam. And we kind of just umbrella the whole way of life or the religion as something negative. But it's a belief. It's a belief. It's a way of life. A lot of it's also people sometimes will consider the dancing of Gaga as derogative when it's old African dances. So there's a lot of different myths, a lot of uh, they tend to put it underneath black how would I say this? The quote unquote black magic
mm,
umbrella. So it's because of film, television, Hollywood. Haiti as a whole, and voodoo even as has been taken out of context. I believe personally that there's a good and bad to everything, and of course, the media has done a great job in highlighting all of the negative aspects of Rara and voodoo, which is why we have all these myths, with monsters. And again, Hollywood has played a role in that as well. But the actual facts of Rara is that it's a very spiritual way of life. It's a even with voodoo, it's a connection to your ancestors. It's the roots to who we are as people, as human beings. It's a connection with the universe. So when you understand these things, then you also have to have a conscious and open mind to actually embrace and welcome voodoo or Rara, or else you will be distracted and and told all the negative stereotypes and stigmas, by other people if you let them, about this culture, about this way of life.
Well, now it seems like many people have embraced it. Like I said, many fundraisers, many events, cultural events, Lara must be part of there. But, one of the things I remember, I don't know where I was, and then the Lara started playing,
Hmm.
and then this woman got into a trance.
Hmm.
In our culture, loi prani.
Hmm.
And I could never understand that. But then as I got older, it's just like if you go to a charismatic prayer, Catholic
Absolutely.
charismatic prayer,
Absolutely.
people
Absolutely.
get into a trend. So it's nothing negative. If you go into, even some of the Seventh-day Adventist Episcopalian services,
Hmm.
people get into a trance.
Hmm.
So I point that out because I think quite often in our culture, people see it as a negative, but when you practice religion, depending on how you're feeling and where you are at that particular moment, when you get
Hmm.
into that trance, it will be displayed physically by
Absolutely.
dancing and so forth. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think again, I think what happens is we've been, bombarded with different stereotypes, a lot of negative stereotypes and stigmas attached to the culture. So, we have a lot of things have been taken out of context. I love to believe that, the voodoo is a connection to your again, to the universe. It's something to give you, when people are catching these trances, it's almost like how, one might say, he caught the Holy Ghost,
Mm,
in a Christian, religion. Um, it's just a connection. It's making that positive connection and almost letting it, and it's also an expression of an independence as well. So it's almost letting that, Gaga, has often celebrated and often commemorated a slave revolt.
mm,
So it's really like a celebration of not being confined, so to speak, almost like letting go of all, especially in the world that we live in. There's so much negativeness that you can embody,
mm-hmm,
from watching the news to, just the heinous acts that people can commit. And, sometimes we can absorb its energy. You can take on other people's energy a lot of the time
mm-hmm.
just by listening to a cousin or a friend's, day who didn't have a good day. It could turn your day into something else. So it's a release. I want to say I mean, it sounds like a trance. You don't want to put it under a trance like you're in a spell, so to speak. But again, it's making that spiritual connection with
That's exactly what I meant.
with
Yes.
your ancestors, with the people who came before you, your parents, loved ones, with the world, with nature. And what's happening now, I believe, is the shift in the world where we can't deny what's real. I think that's what's happening. The reason why you see it um so much is because we live in the age of information now, and you know, a lot of this information is coming out. A lot of the truth of Rara, the truth of voodoo is coming out. So now we kind of have you know, a counter to what we've previously been fed, the negative stigmas, the negative stereotypes, Hollywood with the scary movies. You know, now we have we're privy to information to counter that. And I think that's one of the reasons why we see it, you know, flourishing, you know, now these days, you know, where people, our culture is embracing it more. It's the truth, you know, it's the truth. You can only hide the truth.
So, when you talk about Rara, what does Rara mean, Gregory?
Um, when you say, I mean, what does it mean?
Is there a meaning to Rara?
Um, I would imagine that Rara means, I mean, the word, like the definition. Is that
Mm-hmm.
what you're asking?
The
I would,
definition. Mm-hmm.
I'll say this: the word Ra, in ancient Egyptian means sun. The word Ra means sun. Um, I would imagine, you know, I don't know what the word Gaga means, um, but I would imagine that it means God.
Okay.
I would imagine that it means that, you know, in the sense that, and not in the sense in a singular sense, like one person or you know, just something, you know, again, Ra means sun. So I would just, you know, I give it to the universe. Universe. How about that?
Great. If I were to describe Rara in my own personal definition, I would
Hmm.
say fun,
Okay.
because I think our people very often hear the Rara despite the taboo.
Hmm.
Everybody starts dancing.
Absolutely.
It creates joy, it
Hmm.
creates happiness, and you get to move your body freely, as we've done, as our ancestors have done in Africa. So that's my own definition of Rara.
Okay. I could dig that, you know. I mean, if I gave it a definition, not the word, but what it is, I would describe it as a world's heritage. You know, I think it's the world's
Mm,
culture, to be
love it.
honest with you, you know, to be totally honest with you. I think it came by way of Africa. I mean, it came deep rooted in Africa, celebrated by way of Haiti, but definitely a world's heritage, you know, a world culture. Believe it or not, you know, it's tied into Christianity and Catholicism in Haiti a lot of the times, only because it was hidden in that form. We couldn't practice it, so we hid it through the santas, the saints and stuff with Catholicism. But
Mm,
Rara was brought in, you know, to I mean, or voodoo, I want to say, was brought into Haiti by Boukman, who brought the Islam aspect of voodoo. So everyone has taken from it. That's which is why I say it's the world's heritage. I think it's the root of everything, and
mm-hmm,
you know, even the modern day religion that we have now, you know, Christianity, Buddhism, you know, Islam, all take from voodoo.
mm-hmm.
Everyone has taken from it, have taken a piece of it. So you know, I would definitely describe it as a world's heritage. But
Wonderful.
it is fun. It is very fun. Yes,
For
it
me,
is.
it's fun. I
Yeah,
cannot stay still when I
no
hear
one
that.
can. Yeah, no one can. You know, I've seen strangers get moved. You know, who couldn't stand still. You know, when the music came on. So it's definitely a very touching and spiritual music.
We're going to take a short break and we will be right back. We are back and we have with us Gregory Jesus Luc, who is really talking. We are talking about a very rich part of our culture. We're talking about Rara and some of the things that he has done to really ensure that we leave a legacy for the up and comers and Haitian American as well as the world. So I'm so happy to have you with us, Gregory. Um, One of the questions I, wanted to ask, and I'm hoping maybe you could help us delineate or define the difference between Rara, Racine, and Ram. Are they the same or are they different?
Um, they are pretty much all in the same. Rara would be the roots, the elder version, the original, the
Hmm.
ancient, version, while Racine, which embodies the same components, the same traditional elements, just with, different rhythms, and it's more modernized.
Hmm.
Racine is something that evolved, I want to say, in the 70s, more kind of a hipster or a hippie kind of um raga, sometimes fused with different elements of other different genres of music. There's people who have
Hmm.
fused
Hmm.
raga with rock and roll. There's people who have fused raga with reggae. So it's more of Racine is more of a modernized Gaga, while Gaga is, the older rhythms, the different rhythms, but more older,
The
keeping it root,
traditional.
yeah, the roots of it, So yeah, that's basically the difference. With Ram, when you say Ram is actually the name of a group. You mentioned this earlier that you would go to Ram. Ram is actually a good friend of mine by the name of Richard A. Morse. Ram is his group, his
His group.
band. Yeah, it's his band. And I am familiar with their performances at the Olofsson every Thursday. I don't know what they're doing these days, but I know they have the every Thursday's Ram in the Olofsson where all the expats and people come in and have, a very good time. Yes. But Ram is the name of a group. I don't think that Ram is classified as a genre.
Got it.
So Ram is Racine music, though.
Got
Ram
it.
would be Racine as opposed to Rara.
Got it.
Yeah, they play
Awesome.
Racine.
Yeah, but I certainly enjoyed my time, going to RAM. Um, Now let me ask you a question. With the modern Rara, would you say they talk about issues? They talk about, you know, political, social, are there messages that listeners can get?
Absolutely. There's a lot of with the music Gaga and Racine, a lot of the hymns, a lot of the music is usually, targeted at, a message or an issue, a social issue, particularly a lot of different social issues that Haiti as a country is always fighting. So yeah, the Gaga was always married to a something social or so even the words are always sometimes celebratory and sometimes protesting like so it just depends on the procession, the venue, where what they're doing. If it's if it's a Gaga band marching, procession because of some political issue in the country, then it's definitely going to be a lot of political chants and messages being chanted that are geared towards you know whatever's currently happening in the country. And if it's something celebratory, it could be just a chant that where they're celebrating something. a celebratory chant where it could be a kind of like a happy birthday, or even like I could give you an instance, like when we're leaving, when we're done with Rara and we're wrapping up, we have, well, our particular group has a saying where we're, male 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 male
Right.
male male, and that basically just means we leaving, bye.
Bye,
But it's a
everybody.
yeah, but it's an outro. So yeah, definitely. It's always symbolic to something. It's meaningful. It's never just like, it's not just words being repeated. It's words that do have meaning.
There, and I want to bring something up that I'm very fascinated with, something that you do, Gregory. In speaking with you, you've mentioned that you've been going to Haiti with
Yeah.
different students from the HBCUs. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, well, that's another hat that I actually wear. So aside from managing the Central Park Rara band in New York City, the other and you can catch us there again during the summertime every Sunday from Mother's Day Sunday up until Labor Day Sunday. And when it's nice, we will proceed on, to following Sundays. But the other hat that I also wear, again, being part of the Haitian community in Manhattan, and also alumni from CUNY and SUNY, and just sons and daughters of the Haitian community. Over a decade ago, well, even more than that, actually. But our first trip was in 2010, and we started an organization called Spring Break in Haiti. And the purpose for that, the objective was basically to reintroduce Haiti to the rest of the world. Again, growing up in America, in New York City, I've been, bombarded with the negative stereotypes and stigmas, and we all grew up with that. And it was an opportunity for us as, Haitian Americans, first generation Haitian Americans, to, tell the world our story, and reintroduce the world to our truth, where we come from. Um, and we've been working, 2010 was our first trip during the earthquake. Right after the earthquake, we went out there, a call and kind of response with the SUNY Albany, the MSW program. And ever since, we've been traveling to Haiti with groups of college students during their spring break. An educational trip where they get a chance to kind of see how Haiti functions on all levels, whether it be education, medically, entertainment wise, politically. We show them the good, the bad, the ugly of Haiti, all of it as a whole. And they get a chance to, have some downtime as well and see our beautiful beaches and our landscape. And, not just what they hear and see on TV, they also get a chance to interact with the people. We visit schools, orphanages. So it's a hands-on trip. And, in 2019, that was halted because of pay lock. And in 2020, COVID happened, and we had to kind of shift things over to the other side of the island, which is Dominican Republic. Still highlighting the same issues, the same social issues, talking about Haiti's the dynamics between the two islands and Haiti's issues in DR and DR's problem with Haiti, because Haitians, I don't believe, have an issue with Dominicans, but we have problems there, living there. So it was an opportunity to really showcase that. We, again, living here in America, we hear a lot of propaganda, and, it's an opportunity for us to really showcase the truth to people with their own two eyes,
So
especially the students.
it's a holistic approach in really learning the culture, obviously through the music, the rhythm and all, and also those trips with the students when they come back. One of the things I'm finding is that a lot of young people who've never been to Haiti, once they go to Haiti, they fall in love with it. Is that your experience with your students when you take them?
Absolutely. They don't want to leave. I'll be honest with you. I've been working with a lot of historical Black colleges and universities since 2015. That's been our kind of our target. Just reintroducing and introducing Haiti to Black America. And
Hmm.
a lot of these students are first time travelers, first time getting on a plane, first time leaving their communities. And, that's always an interesting watch. It's interesting to see that and experience that because, you really get a chance to see these students, land in a place that they're unfamiliar with. And you just watch as the days go by, how they just slowly adapt to what's going on. And it's been a life-changing experience for most of my students, to be honest with you. Between introducing them to the culture, eating the food, they can't get enough of it. I just came back from Savannah State, Savannah, Georgia. I was just recently visiting Savannah State, who we've hosted. And, the young lady, the study abroad coordinator, was telling me how there's a student who attended a trip 6, 7 years ago who still can't stop talking about Haiti. So it definitely um, is, which is why I continue to do it. I've seen the impact of it. Um, we just really trying to promote it and get everyone to feel that impact. Just the history in itself is so rich, to learn what Haiti did. And that alone really takes people above and over the edge, because this is not information that they're privy to here in America. It's almost like Haiti, there's like a hidden history about Haiti, and you have to kind of go do your own research online, to find out, I mean, most recently there's been professors who've been introducing courses in certain universities, certain colleges, but it hasn't been like that for a very long time. So, um, life-changing experience, nothing less than that, honestly.
Great. Do you take them to specific historical places, or how do you optimize the experience for them?
I what we do is it's usually a week's trip, and we'll break the week down into 3 days in the city. Of course, now Port-au-Prince is not travel friendly, but we would spend 3 days in Port-au-Prince, and so they really get the feel for that hustle and bustle and how people are functioning and how Port-au-Prince functions on a day to day. And then we shoot out Andeor, or we shoot the Jacmel for the other 3 days, and really get a chance to see what the country life is like. So
Mhm.
it's a combination of, again, just introducing them to the different dynamics of Haiti, from Pétionville all the way down to Ambalaville, just really
Yes.
giving them the truth, a real trip, something organic, something that they could connect with. We're very good at doing that. So there is a lot of historical visiting. In Port-au-Prince, we visit the museum. We would go to Parc Canal Sucre, which is an old sugarcane plantation. Um,
Wamba
we
Bakur.
one Bamako, we'll visit the distillery. So a lot of cultural stuff that we do, souvenirs. We do that. My trips are usually broken down depending on who I'm hosting, where I'm hosting. I've done some hosting in the north as well. So, where we visit the Citadelle, the Palais Sans Souci, and so it just depends. But for the most part, there's always a historical part of it. We visited Port-au-Prince, the mayor's compound. We've had the mayor talk to the students. We will visit the embassy. That's one of the first places that we actually will visit when the students land. Is I'll take them to the embassy so they know that in the event that anything happens ever when you're outside of a country, that this is your go-to as an American.
Hmm. Hmm.
They also learn about the different job opportunities as college students that the embassy offers. People who want to do study abroad or work abroad. Um, we'll visit um, schools, different colleges, so they get a chance to see what the colleges work like, how they function. We've worked with different women's organizations on the ground, a lot of grassroots organizations that are on the ground, orphanages. So it's a lot of, again, interaction and really showing them something that, something real, you know? Again, life-changing experiences. These students are very grateful, I realize, when they come back. We come here, sometimes we complain a lot here in the States, especially as young students. We find themselves complaining about life and how things are so hard. And, so it's a humbling experience to travel to
Yes.
Haiti and then come back and really just get that experience. So again, life-changing experiences.
Well, thank you for doing that. I really seems like it's a great experience, and I really appreciate what you're doing to really ensure our culture is experienced not only by Haitian Americans but by others. So, Gregory, one last word to our viewers. Whatever you want to say to them about the work that you do, you're on the floor.
Well, definitely buy our book, check out our book. You can check out our website, uh HaitiInCentralPark.com. You can also check out SpringBreakinHaiti.com, which is our travel services. But I want to say this. I was asked this question a couple of days ago. A young lady asked me, how can I donate to Haiti, and who can I donate to, or what could I do to help? And, I told her that, money is not probably the best thing, especially if you don't know exactly or directly where it's going. But maybe talk about Haiti, raise the awareness about Haiti, spread the word about Haiti and how it's been uh, how a lot of injustices has been done to Haiti. Talk about that, turn that into a conversation. Buy my book, put it on your coffee table. Have a conversation about Haiti. I think just talking about it and awareness, is helpful. Because again, it's a lot of people are not privy to our history. It's been hidden for a long time just because of our rich history and what we've accomplished. So support Haiti, definitely. And support it in any way that you can. Travel to Haiti and see for yourself is my last words. Definitely travel to Haiti.
All right, terrific. Well, Gregory, thank you so much for joining us. And I wish you continued success with the work that you do. And if you send me a way where people can get it's a book on Amazon.
It is on Amazon. It is on Barnes and Nobles and about 150 other platforms, book platforms. So, but yes, as far as Amazon and Barnes and Noble, Haiti in Central Park, or if you just Google Haiti in Central Park, it should pop up.
Awesome. Haiti in Central Park. And this is Gregory Jesus Luc. Thanks for all that you do to really uplift our people and really showcase the beautiful culture Haiti have.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me again on the platform. Thank you for allowing us to talk about Haiti. I think that I'm just a small piece of the pie. I think as we all collectively do our work to promote the culture, it will be on a bigger platform at some point. So, we just pushing the culture and letting everybody know, that we're out here. Haitians are out here. We exist, and we've contributed a lot to this country, and making this country what it is. So peace and blessings to you as well. And thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Gregory, and have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks. We are back, and we had with us Gregory Jesus Luc, who's been talking to us about Rara, Central Park, New York, and how he is promoting the Haitian culture and really familiarizing many of our college students with the culture. But I must say that growing up, I thought that was a bad thing. And when I heard them in the middle of the night, I really thought it was time when bad spirits were roaming the streets looking for victims. But as I grew up, I realized this is exactly what they wanted us to believe, especially with the association of Rara and Voodoo. In reality, Rara, Voodoo are part of our Haitian culture that we need to embrace and value. Embrace and value does not mean I'm telling you you should practice voodoo. That is your own personal decision. However, I think it is such a rich part of our culture. We should not deny it. When you think about, our independence, when you think about Cérémonie de Bois Caïman, when you think about Boukman Espérance, Rara was all part of it. And it has now become the most popular way people celebrate and let loose and display our Haitian culture. As Gregory mentioned, and as he has done, it is up to us to expose the next generation of Haitian Americans to this rich part of our culture. So, with that, I thank you for letting me spend this time with you, and I wish you a good night. Until next Saturday, I'll see you soon. Good night.